Hello everyone, and welcome to History of the Ancient World. Today we're journeying deep into the jungles of Mesoamerica to uncover the secrets of one of history's most fascinating civilizations, the ancient Maya. Forget the simple narratives of mysterious collapse. We're going to explore a culture that thrived for thousands of years, a civilization of brilliant astronomers, architects, and artists who built breathtaking cities that rivaled any in the ancient world. So grab your explorer's hat and let's step back in time. Our story begins not with grand temples, but in the dense lowlands around 2000 BCE. This is the pre-classic period where early Maya communities began to form. They were farmers mastering the cultivation of maize, beans, and squash, the three sisters that would form the backbone of their diet and society. Small villages slowly grew into larger settlements. It was during this era that the foundations were laid for what was to come. We see the emergence of early ceremonial centers, the first signs of social hierarchy, and the development of pottery and art styles that would evolve over centuries. Think of this period as the slow, steady gathering of cultural momentum, building the base for the explosive growth that would define the classic Maya period. Now let's fast forward to what historians call the classic period, roughly from 250 to 900 CE. This is the golden age of the Maya. It's when the jungle canopy was punctuated by the towering pyramids of legendary city-states like Tikal, Calakmul, Palenque, and Copan. These weren't just cities, they were sprawling urban centers, each ruled by a powerful dynasty of kings, or Kuhul Ajo, meaning Holy Lord. These rulers were seen as divine intermediaries, connecting the human world with the realm of the gods. Their lives, their battles, and their rituals were meticulously carved into stone stelae, tall monuments that stand today as stone history books, telling us tales of royal succession, political alliances, and cosmic events. Imagine walking through the great plaza of Tikal. You'd be surrounded by immense limestone temples piercing the sky, steep stone stairways leading to sanctuaries where priests and kings performed sacred rituals. The air would be thick with the scent of copal incense, the sounds of chanting, and the bustling energy of a thriving metropolis. These cities were hubs of trade, with causeways known as sakbeob, connecting different parts of the city and even linking to neighboring settlements. They were centers of incredible intellectual achievement. The Maya developed one of the most sophisticated writing systems in the ancient Americas, a complex mix of logosyllabic glyphs. They were also master mathematicians who independently developed the concept of zero, and their astronomical observations were astonishingly precise. Let's talk about their calendar. It's often misunderstood, especially with all the 2012 hype. The Maya didn't have just one calendar. They had several interwoven systems. The most famous are the 260-day sacred calendar, the Tzolkin, and the 365-day solar calendar, the Hab. These two calendars cycled together, creating a 52-year calendar round. But for tracking history over vast stretches of time, they used the long count. This is what pointed to a date in 2012, not as an end of the world, but as the end of a major cycle, much like our calendar flips over from December 31st to January 1st. It was a time for celebration and renewal, not apocalypse. This intricate understanding of time reveals a worldview deeply connected to cycles of nature, astronomy, and divine order. But Maya society wasn't all about kings and priests. The vast majority of the population were commoners, farmers, artisans, weavers, and traders. They lived in simpler houses on the outskirts of the urban centers, working the fields using advanced agricultural techniques like terracing and raised field systems to support the large urban populations. Life was a delicate balance of work, family, and religious obligations. Everyone played a part in a complex social fabric, from the elite scribes who recorded history to the stone carvers who decorated the temples and the potters who created beautiful polychrome vessels depicting myths and daily life. It was a vibrant, multi-layered society. Of course, the relationships between the great city-states were not always peaceful. The classic period was also an era of intense political rivalry and warfare. Inscriptions and art tell us of battles, captured nobles, and shifting alliances. Cities like Tikal and Calakmul were superpowers, locked in a centuries-long struggle for dominance over the Maya lowlands. These conflicts weren't necessarily about conquering and absorbing territory in the way the Romans did. Often, they were about capturing enemy elites for ritual sacrifice, asserting dominance, and controlling valuable trade routes for goods like jade, obsidian, and cacao. Cacao beans, by the way, were so valuable they were even used as a form of currency. So next time you have a chocolate bar, remember its royal Maya origins. Now we arrive at the great mystery, the so-called collapse. Around 900 CE, the southern lowland cities began to decline. Construction of monuments ceased, and urban centers were gradually abandoned and reclaimed by the jungle. For decades, people imagined a single dramatic event. But modern archaeology paints a much more complex picture. There was no single cause, but rather a perfect storm of contributing factors. Prolonged, intense droughts, confirmed by climate data, placed immense strain on agriculture and water supplies. Centuries of warfare exhausted resources and destabilized the political landscape. Deforestation and soil erosion from intensive farming may have worsened the environmental crisis. It wasn't a sudden disappearance, but a gradual process of political disintegration and population shift. The people didn't vanish, they moved. And this is a crucial point. The Maya civilization never truly ended. While the southern cities declined, cities in the northern Yucatan Peninsula, like Chichen Itza and later Mayapan, rose to prominence during what's called the post-classic period. These cities had different architectural styles and perhaps different political systems, showing the incredible adaptability and resilience of Maya culture. Chichen Itza, with its famous El Castillo pyramid, shows strong influences from central Mexico, highlighting the interconnectedness of ancient Mesoamerica. Life went on, traditions evolved, and Maya culture continued to thrive, adapting to new political and environmental realities. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, they encountered a land still populated by vibrant Maya kingdoms. The conquest was a long and brutal struggle. The Maya fiercely resisted colonization for centuries, and their spirit of resilience endures to this day. Today, millions of Maya people live in their ancestral homelands in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras. They speak dozens of distinct Maya languages, practice traditions that blend ancient beliefs with Catholicism, and continue to fight for their cultural heritage and rights. The story of the Maya is not just a tale of ancient ruins, it's a living history, a story of survival, adaptation, and enduring identity that continues to unfold. So the next time you see a picture of a Maya pyramid, remember the civilization behind it. A society of brilliant minds, skilled hands, and a profound connection to the cosmos. Their cities may lie quiet in the jungle, but their legacy lives on in the stones they carved, the knowledge they recorded, and most importantly, in the millions of their descendants who carry their culture forward. The ancient Maya weren't a lost civilization. Their story simply entered a new chapter. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the world of the ancient Maya. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating histories from around the globe, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to History of the Ancient World. Let us know in the comments which ancient civilization you'd like to see us cover next. Until then, keep exploring.